15 minutes. And if you missed Scott Perry on with Carmichael Dave, that's coming up at 12. We are going over everything that happened this offseason. I was talking to some people just about the Dennis Schroder fit in Sacramento. And, you know, it's fascinating because there are those out there. And Kyle, just to let you know, we're pulling back the curtain a little bit. Kyle, I've started this research, but I think that you can help me with it. I'm looking for some type of nerd stat that breaks down how different point guards play the position. And I'm trying to figure out, because would you say that De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis worked well together?
Yes.
Okay, even though they were just coworkers. Let's not forget.
Yes.
But with that being said, watching De'Aaron Fox play, who some would even say is not a traditional point guard, then, and I don't know what a traditional point guard is besides Chris Paul and Rajon Rondo at this point. Then you take into perspective or consideration a Dennis Schroder. I'm looking for nerd stats that kind of describe the usage and how these point guards play the game. Maybe how long the ball is in their hands, how much they shoot, the pace in which they play. Maybe ChatGPT can help me, but I'm trying to figure out how similar. When I was talking to some people at Summer League, they said, hey, Dennis Schroder is not really as similar to De'Aaron Fox from the point guard perspective as you would think. So for what Domantas Sabonis needs, we haven't seen any video yet, of course, of them working out. I'm sure we will, but you got a point guard cool. Is it going to fit as well as maybe we all assume that it will fit? Because all you needed was a point guard, right? And I'm assuming that this was all taken into consideration when Scott Perry decided that they were going to commit to Dennis Schroder. But yeah, I was talking to some people out in Vegas, and they maybe question. I said, wait, so now the Kings have a point guard, but this point guard might not play the point guard position the way that Domantas Sabonis needs the point guard position to be played? Are you kidding me?
All right. Well, I can do a little bit of data for you. B-Ball Index, which is our favorite.
Yes, there are guys. Yeah.
Yes, they're our favorite dorks. Under each player, they give an offensive archetype, which is not a position, but just kind of a skill set that they have.
Okay.
And for De'Aaron Fox, for example, they list him as shot creator. But for
others,
just says shot creator.
Okay.
And then for Dennis Schroder, for example, there's last year says shot creator, but when he was on Toronto and Brooklyn, it lists him as primary ball handler. So let me give you another example. Your favorite Fred VanVleet. They list Fred VanVleet.
Shucker.
Primary ball handler is what they label Fred VanVleet as. So I like
this. I like this a lot.
I see shot creator. I see primary ball handler. Name another point guard for me.
I was going to say Tyus Jones.
All right, let's go. Tyus Jones, primary ball handler.
Okay.
I don't know if they have any other than just the two.
Sure.
We're going to try. Jamal Murray says shot creator. DeJounte Murray has an interesting one. He's a little bit of a tweener, but they list him as slasher.
Interesting.
But also in other years, primary ball handler. So it takes into account change.
Last one, just for fun. Tyrese Halliburton.
All right, let's try.
Because I think that's hold on, let me guess. Because now is he a shot creator?
So in his last season with Sacramento, they list him as primary ball handler. In his first 2 seasons in Indiana, they list him as primary ball handler. Last year, they list him as shot creator.
Huh.
And they also have different titles for role, too. So it says like star on it. So it separates your role and your offensive archetype. So he's gone from primary ball handler to shot creator in the last year.
Do they have any breakdowns as to what the difference between the two Because I'm trying to figure out a shot creator. What sounds like what sounds like more assists.
So again, Trae Young used to say shot creator, and then this year is primary ball handler.
It feels like shot creator is more of a hybrid.
Yeah, I feel like
primary ball handler is more traditional.
Yeah, I think shot creator is closer to what we'd call playmaker. I'm just going to put in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just to get a reference, because I would classify him as a playmaker, right?
Yeah, I would say shot creator.
Yeah, they have him as shot creator.
Okay, so shot creator is they can score, but they can help other people score.
They can play make. I wonder if LeBron has the same one.
Oh, we don't care about LeBron.
Yeah, so they have LeBron as shot creator.
But Dennis Schroder says primary ball handler.
Except for, I think when he was on Detroit, maybe? Let me see what it says.
Yeah, he was on 4 teams.
Yeah, I know. Let's just, last year's a weird year, but yes, it says primary ball handler.
Okay, thank you for that. That's exactly, that gives a word or a term to exactly what I heard when I was in Vegas, because there are people that think that it's almost as if, and this is no disrespect, it's almost as if people were saying you need someone that's just better than Malik Monk. But I don't know. It's almost, and I can't believe I'm saying this because they haven't played yet, and we're going to see what happens when they play. It's almost as if the worry now from those that I spoke to was he's too much of a point guard. Sabonis kind of needs a hybrid, but we thought that's why they thought Malik Monk would work, but he wasn't hybrid enough. So, and this is all, we're just gonna see what happens here. But this is stuff that I spoke to about with different people in Vegas, and to the point of B-ball index, there is a difference on how people play the point guard position, specifically when you're working with Domantas Sabonis. And I think the bigger thing is you could be taking the ball out of Domantas Sabonis' hands, which is not what they wanted to do. They wanted him to have the ball less, but you could be taking the ball out of his hands a little bit more than we would like. Or when I say we, just everyone in general.
So Malik Monk, interestingly, since you brought him up, they list him as what's called secondary ball handler. And there's a few players like that, but most notable...
I don't even know where to go with that.
Yeah, there's a primary ball handler and a secondary ball handler. But, I see what you're doing there. Never mind.
No, I wasn't doing that.
Okay, sorry. My mind is just dirty.
Yeah.
The most notable one I would point to in that role, and they just changed him to shot creator recently, but Jalen Williams with the Thunder is kind of that secondary ball, like the best version of what I would call secondary ball handler type of role.
Right.
So, I think that's kind of like the two guards that can play point, but you don't want them as your primary point guard, is kind of that Malik Monk qualification.
Now, not for today, but I would love to have a conversation about those rankings. Not for today, obviously, but that would be interesting as well. But yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. Obviously, 12 o'clock hour, we're also going to get to who Kyle and I would draft in the under 25 draft if you can't, and Wemby is not an option. But yeah, it kind of hit my mind while we were taking a little break, because yeah, all point guards aren't the same. And De'Aaron was a specific type of point guard. Now, I will caveat and say the Kings did not win a playoff series, and they went to one playoffs. So even if Domantas Sabonis worked well with De'Aaron, we still don't know that he won't work better with Dennis Schroder, because it's not as if they had this crazy run where they were in the Western Conference for the last 3 years, the Western Conference Finals. So I just wanted to bring it up because it crossed my mind, but I'm in no way, shape, or form saying that the Kings or it's not going to work with Dennis Schroder. It's just he is a different type of point guard than De'Aaron Fox. That is a fact.
Which, to that point, I was just briefly looking, who are the best point guards that they classify as primary ball handlers? It's not like those players aren't excellent. They have LaMelo Ball, Trae Young, Darius Garland. Like, there's still point guards arguably as good as De'Aaron Fox who are also primary ball handlers. It's not to say one skill set.
But those guys are better than
Dennis Schroder, yes. But Dennis Schroder and Fred VanVleet carry theoretically the same skill set as these all-star level point guards.
Coming up next, 30 minutes of commercial-free Kings sports talk for you. If you missed Carmichael Dave's interview with Scott Perry, we gotcha. It's coming up in about 5 minutes. Don't move. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is